right, welcome guys to another episode of we don't even have a name for this. It's just our monthly guest feature. Today I'm joined by DerteeDisco.
Woo!
We are a little late recording this and putting this out. You know, life been lifing for everyone, so it happens.
Life be life.
Yeah.
No
Welcome, man.
worries.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
I'm all out of breath because I just had to throw the dog upstairs.
Yeah, no, it's good to have. It's good to be here. It's good to be. It's good to have a feature. I'm super excited for our projects going forward and everything. You know, like
totally.
just having the opportunity in the current landscape of space to really be able to do like exactly what you want and have all these other options for ways to deliver and how you want it. Like, it's really cool. So thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're also learning as you can tell with this setup as well. So, you know, everyone's growing. But let's get started. I mean, so you've been in Denver how long now?
It's now 5 years now.
5 years from LA originally, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Nice. And what brought you out here? Was it music or was it unrelated? And
I originally came out here kind of just wanting to try something new. I was born and raised in LA, and not that I was having a bad time there, but I feel like the pandemic really was like, you know, kind of kept giving me the thought of like, oh, why don't you just try to do something new? Life's too short.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I started kind of coming out here like a year and a half after COVID, and then kind of knew a couple of people through like music festivals and raves and stuff like that did live out here, but not specifically for music. I like came out here, and I was almost even because of just like where my positioning was in Los Angeles, kind of being like, maybe I should take a break.
Oh, you were already doing music before even the move out here.
Yes, not producing music, but I was DJing.
Cool.
I didn't start producing until it's now a year and a half now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's interesting. In my experience, it's usually the other way around. I know a lot of people that started as producers and then started DJing out of necessity almost.
I mean, let's be honest. If I could do it again, I would do it the reverse way.
Sure.
You know,
sure.
producing in my head is like way more important. And like, I mean, being a good DJ and selector is like really important, but I feel like that's a more learned skill, and the threshold is like is a different threshold versus just production. Sure. Like production, it's like
absolutely.
Music theory.
Yeah.
You know, like you know,
you gotta know
instrumentation,
the DAW and everything.
Technology, even, you know, like
you gotta not only understand what you're doing in the platform, but like why changing this does that to the audio and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm no producer by any means. Once upon a time, tried to take a stab, but the DJing bit is stuck always. Cool. Well, so let's talk about production for a little bit then.
Sure.
Do you have like a set way that you produce? Do you just like sit down and go, I'm going to do A, B, and C? Or do you just kind of start messing around and like you find a sample and you're like, let's see what we can do? You know, like what's your process when it comes to producing?
I'm kind of like, because I'm still very new at it, I'm still very much so trying to figure out what that rhythm is. You know, there's so much material online that says like it's, you know, not necessarily easier, but it's like it sets things up in a good way if you like start with the drums, or the alternative way of thought that I see a lot is like if you start with a melody or a vocal and then like work your stuff around that. So I've been trying it both ways. I think with the more recent projects, I have been doing like laying the drums down first and then going from there, and that seems to kind of get me in a space where things are flowing pretty good. But then I kind of land in the space of like, oh, like, so now where do I fit my vocals? So I'm kind of been like, you know, experimenting with that recently.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Have you ever, just out of curiosity, tried? I know Fred again has talked about this. It's something that I know I've known a lot of producers to do over the years, but it's like set essentially time limits. So like I'm gonna start a new track. After 2 hours, that's it. It's done. And like that time limits almost like makes you focus on trying to refine one thing because you have such a limited amount of time. Have you ever messed around with that kind of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, a couple of shout outs there. Shout out to Justin J and shout out to the boys over at Always 400. Both of them, like taking Justin J's course, one of his lessons is kind of like set a timer for like an hour and then see how many songs you can finish within that hour.
Oh,
even.
I see. So like how many can you crank out in that hour? Oh,
yeah,
that's cool
and
too.
so that was one of those things that I did with Justin that really kind of helped me be like less worried about more trying to get a track out versus kind of getting lost in the weeds, so to speak. And the same thing with the Always 400 Boys. When I came on their podcast the first time, they were saying stuff like in their Discord, they would set up like 20-minute timers. And I thought that was kind of like, as a new producer, it was like a little overwhelming.
Sure.
But I did try it on my own a couple of times, and I was like, no, I see like where the positive, like what you can
Right.
get out of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of those, like, the intent is not necessarily that you're going to come away with a finished, releasable product. It's more to like refine your skills and to hone, you know, like figure out certain things under pressure, I guess.
But when you're new, like, I feel like that mindset is very valuable though, because I feel like it's very easy to be like, not necessarily like, oh, I'm going to make a number one hit, but not necessarily like, I want to do my best job at this. And then like, so I want to put all my energy into like the one thing. And it's like, yeah, you could on the one make a really good track, but it's more likely that after doing things like repetitiously, like several times, that one of those 7 songs versus the one song is probably going to be your good song.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Cool. Is there a piece of, is there like a plugin or a piece of equipment or something that like you use in everything, or like religiously, or more often than not?
I think what's really helpful for me is actually not even necessarily like a plugin for the like EQ or anything. It's more so Vision 4X. It's like a visualizer and it has like a spectrogram and stuff. And that was actually something that a friend of mine showed me. And it's Noisa created it.
Oh, really?
And it's like just like really, it's got really good settings, and you're able to see like the mid, side, stereo, and
it
stuff.
Visualizes your audio essentially, yeah.
And like in multiple different ways, and like see where like the peak is, and it even has like noise curves on it, so you can kind of like adjust to like depending on what you're creating and kind of see. And I think that's very helpful because when you're especially like mixing and trying to make things sound good, sometimes you're in your headphones and you don't exactly have your speaker set up, and you're like, oh, I don't know if this exactly is gonna like hit in these spots, so let me at least get a good reference going.
That's cool.
You know?
Yeah, I like that. Awesome. So I know you're fairly active in terms of performing here in Denver, outside of Denver as well. Do you have like I don't want to say residencies, but I do see you, you know, getting booked by the Quite Right guys a lot. What's kind of your goal for the rest of the year in terms of events?
Yeah, I mean, I've with like coming on 2 years under the belt, I really want to kind of continue down my niche. You know, doing UK Garage is really cool. I really want to kind of hammer out more 2-step tracks and like refine my process. But as far as like playing out, I think like besides, you know, dream venues locally, I've kind of played a lot of really good ones. Like
what are
said,
the
like,
dream venues? I mean, I would say Red Rocks aside, everyone says Red Rocks.
Right, exactly. So like stuff like Red Rocks or just like theaters, like I would like to play at like Mission or Ogden or something like that. But like I've done Meow Wolf, I've played like vinyl on main stage, basement, upstairs. I've done quite a few locally. I even getting to when I first moved here, actually one of my first returns to DJing was playing with a UMS festival.
I'm not sure.
So that's like a local, more like, it's actually like an indie festival that's like off of like Colfax.
Oh, okay.
But like they'll like book DJs as like kind of like with some of like the DJs headliners that they'll book. So like the year that I was there, like Kevin Saunderson was like booked.
Cool.
So I got to play before Kevin Saunderson.
Nice.
So that was really cool and awesome.
Nice.
So like again, just like to answer your question more directly, like I think besides like theaters and playing out of state, that's kind of like what my next goals are, you know, just expanding the profile, really getting in with my community and kind of like taking those swings out of state.
Yeah, I will say, man, you had community is a very good word for what you've been building, because I see, you know, from past releases that we've put out of yours, you know, you see the comments from people, and you have overwhelming support here in Denver. Like, people come out strong, which is really cool to see.
Yes.
Is there like a dream, not even just in Denver, but is there like a dream event that you would love to play where you're like, all right, that's, you know, we can tick that one off, and I could quit and I could be happy?
Oh man, that's tough. I don't think I could ever really quit, to be fair.
Well, yeah,
like,
fair.
But if there was one that was like, okay, now I've truly made it, I feel like a venue or like a festival.
Whatever, yeah.
Either one. I'd probably say like if I played at like in the UK, like at like Drum Sheds or like Park Life or Outlook, stuff like that. I'm really like, and that might change as time goes on, just because like there are festivals out in America that are booking UK garage artists, but really more so like on the headline tip. And it's not really like we have like a lot of dedicated festivals where people are getting booked.
Oh, in the
Although,
US
like,
especially, yeah.
in the US especially, but like, I know LIB is doing really good with that, so I would like to join them. Also Shambhala too, that would be really good. Yeah, I think that would probably be.
When you play events, do you have like any sort of small ritual or anything that you do like every single time to get yourself ready?
Kind of just like one of my rituals is to like always show up at least like, if I can, an hour before the set to kind of see what whoever's playing before me is playing, and kind of get a gauge of the feel of the energy in the room, and not obviously play what other people are playing.
Right.
But then like about like 5 to 10 minutes before, kind of just like not exactly like shadow boxing, but kind of like psyching myself of just like, I'm gonna go up there, it's gonna be chill, I'm not going to accidentally drop my headphones,
I'm gonna kill it,
I'm not gonna accidentally put in my USB wrong 5 times before I put it in, like just like focusing on little things like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because once you play the first song, it's easy. It's it's just that first kind of getting up there.
Yeah,
that's
it's
like
that
part.
last 5 minutes before the set, and then the second you hit play, it all goes away.
Right, exactly. So it's like that anxiety of like, making sure that it, because I've played at like private events, like even, down in like Durango or Uray and places like that, like where, we'll be doing like a private warehousing, and it's like my turn to go on, and the generator's been going fine all night, and then magically it just like shuts off as soon as I'm playing my first song, and that's like a nightmare. Having a full dance floor and then like music's not working is like terrifying. So
silence.
Once that happens, I'm good.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, but there's something to be said about, I think, being in those situations as a performer, right? Like, I have train wrecked in front of crowds before, obviously. We all have. It's part of the game. It's how you grow. It's, and one thing I'll never forget is I saw Claude Von Stroke at the Mid in Chicago a very long time ago. R.I.P. the Mid. Yeah. And he absolutely train wrecked two songs, and he just pulled everything back, got on the mic, and said, "Wow, that sucked, didn't it? Like, sorry about that." Just acknowledged it and moved on. You know, and that really stuck with me for some reason, because I was just like, man, like that's so much chiller than getting all stressed about it and being like, oh fuck, and getting in your head. He's just like, shit happens. Let's keep partying. Like, and that really. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes and stuff. So
absolutely, I think like a lot of people, we see a lot of the finished product, whether it's like a social media thing or just in the music industry. You're only like, we don't have, even with like all the production of like people seeing like little tips and everything behind, like no one's ever like showing like this is how I created this blend, or like this is the time I really fucked this up, So like I think it's really good to like know that mistakes do happen, and as long as it's not, as long as you can recover from it efficiently, and as long as you don't get in your head about it,
learn from it essentially. You know what I mean? Cool. Well, so what's a track that's just been like a weapon for you that like you've been playing out at every show or something like that?
I would say the new Soul Mass Transit EP, just like all of it front to back. I've been like, it's a 4-track EP. I've been kind of like picking one or the other and throwing it in.
Nice.
That I would say the last 4 sets I've at least played one song from that EP.
Nice. Yeah. Heck yeah. Is there a song that you will never take out of your crates, new or old, like something that's in there forever?
I think having the classic Nikki G Wishing on a Star. I always have that like as like a closing song, just on the USB ready to go.
Nice. Heck yeah. I used to always close with DJ Screw remix, Chopped and Screwed remix of what is it? UKG by Outkast or whatever.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I can't say I've heard that one. I might have to hear that one.
It's just like a slow Chopped and Screwed.
No, that's
It's great.
I love a good Chopped and Screwed remix.
All right. Well, but anyways, let's let's move over to kind of what you're working on right now and what you've got coming out soon. I know that we have, the Maybe EP with you and Morgan that we are releasing later this month. Stay tuned for that. There's remixes from No Drought, from
Arena Kronova, and Rico Tubbs.
Rico Tubbs, which is crazy, man. Back when I was first starting out, I played a bunch of Rico Tubbs because he was doing like fidget house, like really, really weird fidget house, and I had a bunch of his tunes. So to see that name again, it's wild to me.
Yeah, he's a very interesting and really cool producer. Like, he actually, from my first song with you guys, actually, he heard the first track. Because there's like 3 of them, so I'm forgetting the name of it. But he heard the track. And he started following me. We just started like randomly chatting, kind of keep in touch, and just like, I spun a couple of his records as well, and like, really cool guy.
Yeah. That's fun. That's cool. What about other stuff? Do you have any other releases you can talk about, or events and stuff coming up you want to plug?
Yeah, absolutely. I've release wise, I've got a song coming out on an LA label on August 7th. That's going to be a part of a compilation, so just a single, but a lot of really cool people on it. I don't know exactly if I'm supposed to say it in full, so that's why I'm not saying the name of it.
Fair.
I didn't necessarily sign anything, but I don't want to put it out there like that. I haven't seen any promo for it yet. But that's coming out on August 7th, and I'll have like links for that. And then later in Q3 and Q4, I've got a major releases coming out on South Point.
Nice.
That's going to be a single, and then 3 songs, a 3-song EP afterwards.
Damn, putting in work. I like it. What about events? You got anything coming up in Denver?
I've got something melting in the pot really hard for November. Keep your eyes closed, but like closer than that, I'm gonna actually be closing the Quiet Right party, like you mentioned earlier, for a Bush Baby.
Oh, fun!
He's coming to town on his a larger U.S. tour. He's played a couple of times before, but this is like a headlining tour for him. So
cool.
like. We're one of the stops, thankfully. That's and awesome. I'll be closing after him, so that'll be 3.
Is he doing like a show beforehand, or is it just the afters?
Just the afters.
Cool, that's awesome.
Yeah, and we have like a lot of really fun people in town, so I feel like there's gonna be like crazy energy, like
just like other homies in town playing other gigs, kind of thing. Or?
Yeah, like Mary Drobbins and Mnemonic are around, Shaking's here.
That's so funny. Yeah. I haven't talked to Mary in a while, but she used to. We had a guest DJ named Naiad for a while, a couple years ago out of LA, and her and Mary were very close, and so they were always on each other's show and stuff.
Naiad's very cool.
Yeah, she's great. We don't work with her anymore, but it wasn't anything, parted ways amicably. It wasn't anything like that, it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, what date is that too? Because I want to make sure that we can come by for that.
Yeah. So that's next weekend, July 11th.
Oh, next weekend. Okay, damn.
Yeah.
I might have to work the sling some records at the Recon DNB, like the vinyl night market thing that they do at Black Box.
It's late.
Oh, so I guess afters. Yeah, it starts at like 11 or something.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. All right, cool.
If you have the energy, no worries.
Yeah, we are.
I know how it is. We're very respectful of everybody's time, and so I'm always just like, it's always interesting, like when you have those gigs that are like big gigs, but. It's like after is anywhere from like 2 to 5. It's like that's definitely a commitment to get people. I mean, like you've mentioned, I have a lot of really supportive people around me, so like it's gonna be a good time. I'm not worried about it, but like I'm never like, oh, you didn't go to my show. That was at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's okay. Just grab the next one. But I would love to see anybody who comes out. Yeah.
It's tough. Like I used to do the afters thing very heavily in Chicago. Like leave home at 7 p.m., not come home till like 2 or 3 the next day, kind of thing.
Easily,
I just don't have the physical capacity or the mental, frankly.
Well, I'm not gonna do it every weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think if I were to do it, it would ironically have to probably be sober. Like I would not be able to do drugs or drink or anything. It would just mess me up way too. Like it would ruin my whole weekend.
Well, I've come to the realization that if I have like a gig that I'm getting paid for and it's not like friends playing or something like that, like I don't even drink. When I like do those shows. It's just I want to be like sharp, I want to be able to talk with people. I want to be able
Yeah.
to network. I want to just like really
Yeah.
give people like my best self since they're paying money
absolutely.
to see me.
Oh my god, dude! It was the past weekend, 2 weekends ago, whatever, when we had that barbecue. We were recording a couple shows that day in the background, and one of them I was playing on, and I looked back at the footage, and I was like, "Ooh, we are not releasing this." You can see the tequila in my eyes,
Yes,
kind of thing.
yes,
So
yes.
there's nothing worse than a drunk DJ. Cool. Well, hey man, thank you so much for coming by. Really appreciate it. Look forward to the mix and seeing what you do. Stay tuned for that coming out in a few more days. July 27th, maybe EP with Morgan. You heard it here first. And that's it. That's all we got. Thanks, guys.
Shout out Morgan.
Shout out Morgan.
Shout out the label.
Buy his new fucking record. 2LP. All right, guys. Peace.